Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Under the Plum Bob. You know where you are because you are a patron. Welcome to a sort of off-topic episode for your bonus this month. We're going to be talking about a little independent film. You might have heard of it. It's called Star Wars. And we're going to be diving into kind of how we felt about the latest movie, about the newest trilogy, and our varying thoughts and emotions on that. I'm Melissa. Here with me today is
Caitlin.
And Ava.
If you had to give yourself like a Star Wars type name or like a identity, what would you want to be in the Star Wars universe?
Being a Jedi seems to suck. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sure
yeah,
does.
I don't think I'd want to be a Jedi. I'd probably go for a smuggler. That's one of my favorite classes in the MMO. And then I'd
Hell
probably
yeah.
go with my girl's name, which is Vesrakesh.
Ooh.
Sick.
Yup.
I don't.
Sassy, smart talking smuggler for sure.
I think Twi'leks are so cool. I will give my disclaimer now that anything I say, bring on the hate. I'm not like super well read in Star Wars. I've seen all the movies, the official like trilogy movies. I've seen Rogue One. I've seen all the Mandalorian so far, which we are going to say is off the table. I've seen the Solo movie, but I'm not like reading into the backstory of like the books or anything. I know they exist because my boyfriend's really into them, but I am not. I would not say I am an expert, so I will give that disclaimer.
I will absolutely second that because I've mostly only seen like the main movies, all 6 of them. So I haven't seen all 6 of them. So
She said what she said.
9.
I haven't seen The Mandalorian because I live in Europe and we don't have Disney Plus yet.
Oh, that's brutal.
I haven't seen Solo or Rogue One, but that's going to change because I think Caitlin might hurt me if I don't see Rogue One soon.
It made Darth Vader
basically
scary again.
Oh God, that's all I wanted after, the 3 that don't exist. But yeah, that's basically it. So if you come at me with in the extended universe, I will slap you.
Didn't those get thrown out with the new trilogy anyway?
I don't know anymore, man. It's just there's so much in the Star Wars universe. You don't even know what's canon anymore these days.
So we're just going to put up a blanket spoiler here for every Star Wars movie. The whole Star Wars cinematic universe as a whole will be spoiled. So if you're waiting on seeing any of those, including the newest one, stop, click your pause button, and leave the room. Get out of here, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Caitlin, what's your level of Star Wars expertise, would you say?
So I had to. Do you remember LimeWire?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hello, child of the early aughts.
We didn't have the Star Wars movies at my house, and we went to go see. So I knew what they were, but I didn't really see them. So I had to download them on LimeWire to watch them. I know I saw the second Star Wars, the cat. Oh my God. Okay.
She loves Star Wars.
But we went to go see episode 2 in theaters, which is weird because they don't exist. But
oh, there it is.
But we saw them only because my dad doesn't like them, but he really likes Natalie Portman. So we went to go see that one in theaters, which is the worst one out of all of them. That is the worst one. Mm-hmm. So then I never saw the third one until, again, I had to download it on LimeWire. And I was like, oh, hey, part of this movie is actually really good. This entire movie is not bad, especially when it gets closer to the end. And then I've seen the movies in theaters since. So I did not grow up with them per se. I had to search them out because they just were in our house. But I've seen them ever since and I enjoy them. So
we're not experts across the board here. Is it a universal feeling, though, that the trilogy, chronologically 4, 5, 6, but episodically 1, 2, 3, starting with Phantom Menace, that trilogy is garbage. Is that the feeling?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
The writing wasn't good, and he was just...
It was not.
It was not.
And what's his face? George Lucas, he was kind of preoccupied with how shiny he could make it, and which he likes, because I was actually listening to, there's a podcast called Binge Mode, and they did Game of Thrones, and then they did Harry Potter, and now they're doing Star Wars, but they were talking about Phantom Menace, and they're like, George Lucas is a car guy.
Yep.
If you look at how especially the original trilogy,
the pod racing and
yep.
And so that there's a lot of focus on that kind of stuff, and it was just, he focused on the wrong things, and the things that didn't make the original trilogy as good as it was were not focused on. And he purposely didn't want to make Anakin bad the entire time. He wanted that fall, but also he wasn't given good stuff to work off of. So I feel bad for that actor.
So,
also, this is also the trilogy that gave us Jar Jar fucking Binks, and I don't... We didn't need that. As a society, we did not need Jar Jar.
Get ready for me to defend Jar Jar Binks. But anyway.
God, no.
Oh, is it because of that ongoing thing?
Wait. Roll it back. What was I going to say? Oh, I highly recommend, for those of you with Disney Plus and for those without, maybe like Pirate Bay or something, Disney Plus released a Star Wars documentary that kind of goes back into like how George Lucas came to be and how his sensibilities in film came to be. There's also a podcast called Inside Star Wars that I would recommend. And the themes of both is basically like, George Lucas made the original trilogy against all odds. He had no money. The effects that they produced at that point in time were damn near impossible. Like, that was groundbreaking for the time. By the time the shiny new, Phantom Menace and Co. trilogy came to be, he was focused on how shiny it could be and definitely lost sight of the storyline. I think that was also a point in time people didn't tell him no. Exactly. So he is a bit of like, I don't know. I don't want to hurt the George Lucas stands out there, but he's a bit of a whiner baby.
His marketing, though, the fact that he thought enough ahead he was like, all the toys, like he gave away the name, but all the toys will be his profit. He trademarked the word droid. So the Android, in order to use the word Android, who sent out the Android? Was it
Samsung?
Verizon?
The phone.
Samsung? They had to, either way, they had to pay George Lucas to use the word Android.
Crazy.
Because he, like, anytime you hear the word droid, George Lucas got money.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. That was smart. I will give him props to you for knowing how to make money off of your product.
Well, I'm pretty sure he lost all of his Star Wars money making Howard the Duck, so he needed some cash, right?
Probably. God bless.
God, that movie was bad. I still have nightmares. But yeah, no, I get you. I get you. The first three, I guess, and I mean 1, 2, 3 weren't as bad as most people make them out to be. It's just I could have done without. I think we didn't need them per se. I didn't want to know that Darth Vader started out as some whiny brat in a sandpit, I was just like, oh God, he's so deliciously evil and scary. And sure, you got a glimpse of he used to be a good person maybe, but I didn't need to know his entire fucking history from when he was knee height whining about sand. It kills a lot of the mystique.
It gets everywhere.
It's just now every time when I hear that Imperial march again and I see him stomping up on a ship, I'm just like, he used to be 9 and he used to ride a pod around and he used to bitch about. I can't make that disconnection anymore, and that really sucks. Also, I'm upset at what they did to they remastered the Rich Tridge.
Yeah.
And they put, instead of the fucking actor who played Darth Vader, who's in the suit, and who we saw at the end with Luke, no, they stuck fucking Hayden Christensen's face on there. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It just doesn't make sense storyline either. I get that they were trying to be consistent, but by the time he perished as Darth Vader, he didn't look like that. at all.
Nope.
So,
and I'm pretty sure that if the whole Force Ghosts, become a Force Ghost thing gave you the option to go back to like being to the point where you were like at your best and you could be like young and hot again, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Obi-Wan would have done the same.
Fair.
It's like, I could look like Ewan McGregor?
Fuck yeah, who wouldn't want to look like Ewan McGregor? I want to look like Ewan McGregor. He's adorable.
Perhaps it was a he wanted to be elderly and stoic and, elderly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's personal preference. I don't know. But you think at least Yoda would have been like, maybe I'll roll it back a little bit to when I was less decrepit, like still
maybe I'll look like Baby
dignified.
Yoda.
Oh God, if only. Look, I really want to see The Mandalorian. I want to see it so bad because I want more of Baby Yoda, but we have to wait until March 2020 to get something because apparently it takes a while to ship a fucking video streaming service across the ocean. I guess it's in the back of a cargo freighter now, or I don't know.
Well, it's being smuggled over.
Also,
duh.
By actual pirates. No, but seriously,
they got to make that Kessel Run. Whoever dropped the ball on the Baby Yoda merchandise might
no. That was
fired.
Entirely intentional.
Was it?
Absolutely.
Because by the time stuff you can't get stuff until May. By the time that comes out, I might be over Baby Yoda.
It's intentional.
Maybe.
There's going to be Baby Yoda stuff for Christmas. That's been said. Yeah.
There won't be, though. It's in 4 days. Where is the Baby Yoda stuff?
I read an article. Baby Yoda. We said we weren't going to talk about Mandalorian, but here we are.
Well, this isn't plot. This is just memes. He's a meme machine with my spatchy spat.
He just drinks his chalky milk.
He's so cute.
I had somebody was like, and so whoever put that little bowl, whoever put that hot chocolate mug in his hands, did such a great job. And I was like, no, that the puppet had a cup. Like, that's a real cup.
Yeah, not everything has to be CGI, guys.
Yeah, and I think, and again, non-Mandalorian talk, but I think so far the show's done a good job of like being true to that and, mixing practical effects with special effects, which is where I think things got a little bit lost in the Phantom Menace trilogy, where it was like, we're gonna fucking do everything shiny.
All of the special effects.
It was so shiny. It was just so clean. Like, that was like also, because part of like Star Wars, the look of it is kind of the look of it being run down, and you didn't see anything clean really unless you were the Empire.
Truth.
So dealing 100% in clean stuff was kind of weird.
So, and I think moving on, making that a nice segue, I think the films are doing that pretty well too, in my opinion. A mix of practical effects and CGI, but and doing it in a way that pays homage to the past films. But I get a sense that that's about where our happiness ends as a group. Ava has some strong ass feelings about, here they come. Here come the tears.
Oh, I was legit in tears yesterday. I'm not going to lie. It was tears of anger and frustration and disappointment. But I legit had to after that movie because I was so angry.
Can I ask when you saw it?
Yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
So I have a question. Did you guys like The Force? We'll start at did you like The Force Awakens?
I liked it. It was phenomenal, but it was the start of a new trilogy and I was excited for that. There were some bits where I was like, but it was mostly a setup, so I wasn't too worried or anything. I liked it fine.
Yeah, I was like, okay, here we go. Like, I'm not precious about these movies to the point where you cannot touch it. If you get it wrong, I will die. No, no, I get it, but that's not I'm ready for newness, I guess I can say.
And that was my big issue with that movie because it was pretty much just a resurface of A New Hope down to I had a fight with somebody because I was and Han Solo was Ben and Han Solo was Ben Kenobi, and he was like, no, he wasn't, he was Han Solo. I was like, you mean the old guy who shows up, gives the main character exactly what they want, and then dies dramatically in front of him?
Caitlin, trust me, I'm gonna get there.
Oh boy.
But the whole like I didn't like it because like you could have done anything, and you did the exact same thing the entire movie.
Oh boy! Oh god! Where do I start? Okay.
Which is why I like The Last Jedi, because I know a lot of nerds got mad at it, but it was like it was different. Yep. It was new. It took some stuff that was getting. It took some stuff like it made the idea that like, oh yeah, you have to be the midichlorians kind of like stupid like genetically, and it was like no, a powerful person can come from anywhere, and anybody can be great, and together we can be even better. Like that whole like grouping of
see, this is where I have my problems, because I also love The Last Jedi, and then when I follow a lot of people on Twitter who had already seen it, obviously, who didn't spoil it, but I saw this pattern. People who did not like The Last Jedi loved The Force Awakens, and people who liked The Last Jedi hated The Force Awakens. And I was like, oh no. So that's how it started. And then I saw the movie, and I don't know if you guys movies have that as well, but when we have like movies here in our movie theater, there's always an intermission. I don't know why. I guess because they want your money and they hope you're going to get a refill on popcorn or something. Yeah, there's an intermission. 10-minute intermission. 10-minute intermission, people. It's the worst. But yeah, they did that. That's and weird. After the first half was over, I was already like, this is after the big reveal happened, right? So we are. I
wondered how you tweeted in the middle.
We are doing the spoilers. I can mention the big reveal. Yeah. When they told Rey that she was a Palpatine, I wanted to scream. And that was the aftermission was after that. So I literally sat there for 10 minutes, like my knuckles white as I was grasping just the edge of my seat in pure anger. My mom was like, "You okay?" He's like, "Fine."
Do I leave? Do I just leave? Fine. Do I just leave right now? I just leave. I just leave?
I honestly wanted to. When that came up and they were like, "Oh, you're the granddaughter of Palpatine," I was like, "Is this another 50 Shades? Is this like a movie made out of a fan fiction? What the fuck?" And it bugs me the most because when Force Awakens came out, there was this whole debate about who Rey's parents were. Was she a Skywalker? Was she a Palpatine? There was this whole debate about that, and it was like, guys, maybe she's just nobody. Maybe in The Last Jedi, Kylo Ren was right. Her parents were drunks and they sold her because they wanted booze money. Maybe that was it. And you know something?
Maybe that's all it has to be.
Fine.
Yep.
Maybe that's all it has to be. Exactly. You don't have to be a Skywalker. You don't have to be a Palpatine. Mm-hmm. You can just be fucking badass all out of your own. And she was, because she came from nothing. Her parents dropped her on a sandpit. She became an amazing pilot. She became an amazing technician. She became really good with that staff.
Mm-hmm.
She was great, and she was self-made, and then she found her friends, and then they all became great. They made mistakes, and they learned from them, and they did their thing. And then she had to be a fucking Palpatine, and then after at the whole end, she became a Skywalker too. So I guess both camps of that argument got what they fucking wanted.
Mm-hmm. I don't love that for many reasons, many of which you've already stated, but also because like they didn't express it well. It was very much like in not showing. No. It was telling, not showing, sort of thing. It was bad writing. It was like, oh, by the way, you're a Palpatine, and like, had the Emperor storyline been set up a little bit better, then maybe. But
I honestly don't know why we needed him. Like, we defeated him. Like, why did he have to come back? He was dead.
This trilogy should have had, if you know you're going to go into a movie that's going to have 3 different movies about it, you need to have the same writers on all of them, or have an outline that is the outline of all 3 movies. Because this movie, I love The Last Jedi, but if J.J. like, they didn't yet, I read this I was reading the Reddit people talking about it, which is hilarious because if you go to the Star Wars subreddit, they love it, but if you go to the movies subreddit, they fucking hate it. It's amazing. But somebody in there said, like, they didn't and each other well. Like, they said, like, Rian Johnson did a pretty good job yes-anding and building off of J.J. Abrams.
Took it in his own direction.
But J.J. Abrams went nope, and then did his own thing.
It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
I don't know if they didn't.
Yeah. See, and that's what I hated about it. For me, the Rise of the Skywalker felt like a huge, giant middle finger to The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
They spent the entire first half retconning all of The Last Jedi and then tried to cram what should have been the first half in with the second half to reach their climax. And like the last half hour of it or so just felt so fucking rushed. So like, oh, now this is happening. And now this is happening. Oh, we have a problem. Oh, it's been fixed.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a problem. Oh, it's been fixed. It's like, what is happening? It was just this huge, giant clusterfuck of everything that should have been in the first half crammed in with all the rest, just so they could go, I know Rian Johnson said this, but actually he was wrong and it was this.
Yeah.
Also, this is just an ongoing for any movie, any storytelling medium, anybody who wants to make a story. You can only have 2 fake out deaths before the deaths start not caring. You can only have like so many people die. Oh,
that wasn't even a fucking fake out. I knew Chewie wasn't dead.
Oh, I was tricked.
I knew,
but you had
because I saw him in the fucking trailer in the Millennium Falcon with Lando Calrissian, you idiot! Sorry.
Whoop.
Sorry.
Yeah, the trailers gave some shit away.
I'm still upset.
Also, they cut some scenes out because I guess, like, because there was that weird scene with Lando and that chick at the end that was like, are they gonna bang or what's happening? But I guess he's
Are they gonna reveal that she's also from there and that she's his daughter or what? Is this setting up for another series for Disney Plus? I don't know.
Get the fuck is this?
I was sitting there and Steve leaned into me. My boyfriend Steve leaned into me and goes, spinoff? And I was like, yes, please.
That's exactly what I thought. Like, they're setting this up. It's going to be like a buddy cop comedy with them like flying around the universe trying to find where she's from. And then it's going to be like, oh my God, it turns out you were my daughter all along. Just watch me.
The daughters were
I'm glad, like, I'm really glad that this is a very diverse cast, but I don't see the point of that chick. And I'm actually pissed that she was in there because everything that she did in that movie with Finn should have been Rose.
I was just going to say, why did they underutilize Rose Tico? That doesn't make any sense.
I was so
because the fanboys got pissed at her character.
Everything she's been through, all that rage that she got, they bullied her off of fucking Twitter, and then she gets like a cumulative like 3 or 4 minutes of the movie. Kelly Marie Tran deserved better.
Agree.
Her character deserved better.
She's a sweet baby angel.
I got mad because a lot of people. I remember when that movie came out and a lot of people were like, I didn't see the point of this plot line. It's like, then you weren't paying attention at all because the only reason Finn was around was because he cared about Rey. He didn't actually care about the cause. He didn't care about the rebellion. He didn't care about any of it. And that entire plot line was to make Finn actually have see the bigger picture and be like, we need to do this for everybody because we need to fight what this was. And people were just like, I just got so mad because they were like, I just don't see the point. Like, it was just worthless. And I was like, it wasn't worthless. They were changing the Finn's entire like purpose changed after that. And she did that. And that adventure to me was
the growth
fun.
Of his character as well. Like, he started off just caring about himself. And then he cared about Rey. And then he cared about Poe. And then all of a sudden he started to care about everybody. That was him. That was his character growth. That was a good storyline. And she deserved so much better. Rose is a goddamn delight. And look, there's this point in the newest movie where in the last battle, Finn goes off with that new chick. I don't even remember her name. I think they said it once and that was it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I did think she was
I think it was something with a J. She was pretty cool, but like they went off in the final battle and they were like, we're going to blow up this command ship. And Rose is like, Finn, we gotta go. Let's go. Let's board the ship. And he's like, nope, we're gonna stay. We're gonna finish this. And she just fucking lets him go. The Rose from The Last Jedi wouldn't have let him go. She would have been like, nope, you go and I'm going. We're in this together. And that should have been their adventure, or she at least should have been there. She wouldn't have just fucked off and left him there. She would have been ride or die. Like, you're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this. Let's do it.
Maybe she gave up on him and started dating Donald instead.
Maybe she deserved better.
So,
but I guess
he's too hung up.
What do you think Finn wanted to tell Rey when?
Oh no, that's been revealed.
I know.
That's been revealed.
Oh, what was it?
And how do you feel about it?
It's bullshit.
Oh, what
is it? Bullshit. He wanted to reveal that he was also force sensitive.
I mean, they pretty much. That's not bullshit. Throughout the entire.
I mean, yeah, I guess know, but that's what he wanted to tell her.
Movie.
That's what he wanted to tell her. Rey, I'm force sensitive. That's what he wanted to tell her. The end.
Rey
But
should
also,
know
like,
now if she was the most
also,
powerful.
like, I love you. It could have been. No?
Yeah.
No, apparently not.
That's what I thought it was.
I was ready to, like, fight to the death. Like, he was trying to say I love you. And Steve's like, nope. They said something else in the...
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is...
Then why doesn't he want to tell Oscar
Poe?
Isaac Poe? Why doesn't he want to tell Poe?
I honestly was rooting for those two as well, but I knew it was never going to happen because Disney.
Oh, yeah. No, I so ship them very much.
Also, this trilogy was hurt a lot by not having the trio that is the trio be together throughout most of the trilogy. I think that also hurt it a lot. Like, they were connected, but the amount of scenes that Rey and Poe didn't even like talk until the end of the Last Jedi.
And like they've in the third one now as well, they set up this whole rivalry between them. It's like, well, where the hell is this coming from? What's happening?
Also, I liked their dynamic. I liked you can tell like they would have worked really well together had they been together longer. I would have liked to see their growth. I did like Carrie Russell in this. I didn't know she was in this.
Yeah, I was like,
Carrie Russell?
That was Carrie Russell. Good to know.
She's I'm watching The Americans right now, and she's a fucking.
Is that the Spice Runner? Yeah, the chicken red with the mask. Yeah. I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see more of her.
Yeah,
I was like,
they were definitely not going to kill the little guy.
He does new merchandising. Honestly, though, Baba Frick, I would love him. I would die for him. He's so adorable.
Oh, look, my oldest friend, Baba Frick. C-3PO was pretty good
I thought you meant the the new droid, the new little droid.
The little.
Why was that?
Please don't touch me.
Why was he there?
Because he had to talk about. Please don't touch me. I'm pretty sure that's something you said or something like it. Like, no.
No, please don't touch me. No, thank you. No, thank you.
That's what it is. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
But like, in the end, I think they were like, "Oh, but we need to get to the place. He has the map inside his head. That's great." But Rey is already showing us how to get there. So why were you here again? Yeah. Oh well. I thought, and which would have been hilarious, I thought they were going to like first back up 3PO into the little droid before they did his memory wipe. And then before they could actually put him back in his like original form, he'd just be like, oh no, we have to run, quick, grab the shell and let's go. And he'd just be stuck in the little droid for the rest of the movie, which I would have found hilarious.
That's super cute.
It was just like, oh no, I didn't back up my my whole personality on R2D2 because I don't trust him. And then he meets R2D2 and R2D2's like, oh yo, I got your backup right here, bro.
Yeah, that was.
You think I think R2D2 probably secretly backs up all his friends' files, like without their knowledge.
Probably, but still, that's like, what the point? Like, what's the point of you telling us then that there's no backup, and just so we could go, oh no, he's gonna die. Oh no, he's fine.
They did say that it was on R2, but they're notoriously unreliable, which could just be C3. To be honest, that could just be C-3PO, who always just does not trust R2D2, even though R2D2 gets the job done every time.
True. Don't underestimate a droid.
Don't underestimate a droid.
Do we have to pay George Lucas now for all the times that we've said droid?
Probably. I'll go to my vase that has change in it. How much money do you think?
I don't. Probably not enough. Probably not. We don't have enough. We will never have enough. Okay, but can we talk about Kylo Ren?
Yes, we can.
Can we talk about Ben Solo? Because I fucking love that boy. I love him so much.
What a handsome lad.
And
he didn't have
done
any
him
lines
dirty.
after his they didn't have any lines after his change.
Like,
he literally
said nothing. It's like, why?
Although I will say that the most Han Solo thing he ever did was right after him and Rey did the magic trick with the lightsaber. That made me laugh in not a good way.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
With the lightsaber.
That was so cool.
The shrug he gave after, I was like, that's the most Han Solo thing you've ever done.
Like,
is it just to like,
you are a Solo through and through, boy. I love you. But they done him dirty, and I don't like it.
That's where I was like, okay, so they're dead now. And then Kylo Ren died, and then Rey died, and then he brought. So that was 5 times. Yeah, people died but didn't die.
So I really enjoyed that ending. And here's why. So their whole like tension between the two of them, may it be sexual or otherwise, I just think that the way that it ended with him giving her his life is like your ultimate redemption, because we have to keep in mind dude has killed a lot of people. Like, we forget that because he's handsome Adam Driver, but he has killed people.
I don't think he's handsome.
Really? Oh, I think he's so handsome.
He has a thing. He's like, it's that Benedict Cumberbatch thing. It's like, you're not conventionally handsome, but goddamn, son, you fine.
Yeah.
I get Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't get him. I think I'm mostly just mad because I was like, Leia and Han would have made a better looking kid.
Okay.
Like, that's what I was like.
Fair enough.
This is not the child they would have made. No. And that's the hill I die on.
But
I just don't get it.
I see your point, Melissa. I do.
I like him. So,
but I have to disagree with the ultimate redemption, because he basically got away with killing all those people. He doesn't have to live with that anymore. I mean,
okay,
it's fine if you're being like, if you're a bad person and you do bad things. Doing one good thing doesn't automatically make up for all the bad that you did. It's the whole Snape thing again.
Agree.
Yeah, he did one good thing and then he died, and then Harry Potter named a son after him. The dingus. Hagrid was right there. I hate you so much.
But see, that's...
Name of the girl Ruby. Just name her Ruby.
But see, that's why. So I think had he stayed alive, it would have been this whole like, and now he's with Rey and they're wonderful and beautiful. And like, of course, they had the soul connection. Like, they were the couple. He had to die because we then have the ability for Rey to be with Finn, as is like the OTP. And I don't know. I think their whole chemistry, whatever, was really intimate, and I feel like people are going to complain about the fact that like, oh, they didn't need to do like a romantic thing, blah blah blah. It wasn't romantic. It was intimate, and it was about the two of them sharing something that was unspoken, but therefore I'm glad that he didn't survive, because I don't know that he deserved to survive. So
I don't know.
Could have flown around the galaxy.
Exactly,
himself.
That's kind of what I wanted to see. Honestly, I would have wanted to see his redemption much earlier in the movie, perhaps the first half, and he could have been training her. Like, this is how a Sith fights. This is this is all of their tricks that they're using. This is what you're going to be up against, and they could have been on that water planet just training together
for sure. But I think that goes back to, it would have been a better movie overall if we'd had more time, and if we hadn't wasted
an entire half flipping off Rian Johnson. Yeah, pretty much. Or that's my hill, and I'm dying on it.
Or if we had taken Rian Johnson's and moved forward in that direction, or just had it be J.J. Abrams the whole time.
Because nothing at the end, what happened at the very end, very much besides like the reveal, counteracted Ryan. Like, it's just a whole bunch of like, you could have done your story with what he did besides the parent thing, cutting that out, because you should have just told Rian Johnson that this is where it was going to go. I'm not sure if he they
didn't have that planned either,
which sucks, because I'm pretty sure if he had told Rian Johnson this is where I'm going, Rian Johnson would have said, I'm gonna pass, thanks. Because honestly, when they called her Empress Palpatine, I threw up in my mouth.
That was dumb.
I was like,
it was so bad.
And also, what's the difference? Okay, so I really hate when they do this. And like, okay, they've murdered a whole bunch of people. They murder people in the air when they're fighting, and they're lightsaber duels, people dying all over the place. But killing me would be the ultimate dark mark on your... Killing me will cross you over to the dark side. Don't forget those 40 people you just murdered.
Pretty much.
I'm the real test of...
Also,
because you kill me.
You're gonna strike me down, and I'm gonna take over your body, mwahaha, because I'm Voldemort now, and I'm gonna live on the back of your head.
Yeah, that was confusing to me for sure.
Like, since when did the dark side give you the power of necromancy? And also, what was that thing that he was stuck to? Was he fucking GLaDOS?
I got GLaDOS vibes too.
And who were all those people in that fucking arena? Where did they all come from? Were they clones? Were they Sith?
Siths of the past. So, like, how, like, the Jedi, I don't know, but the only thing that made sense to me was if they were, like, how the Force ghosts happen. Those were Sith ghosts. because otherwise it makes no sense.
They got pretty smooshed at the end when the whole thing came down.
Because then it doesn't make have there just been like 15 million Siths just doing it? How did they?
I don't know.
So many
maybe
people?
they were more Snokes in a jar. I honestly do not know. Maybe they were all clones. Maybe one of them survived, and that's going to be the start of a new trilogy. I don't know.
With a new Death Star. That's me. Because also my other issue with this movie was their connection that they had, that they could like see each other, they could like force call each other. In the previous version, they could kind of affect stuff, but in this version, they were actively destroying things around them, which moved the plot along.
It got stronger, no?
Yeah, but to me, it was like, what's stopping you from just like a lot? Like, is this new or is this unique to them? They didn't explain, like, because if you could always, if
they didn't explain, that's just it. They didn't explain. It was just like, here's what's happening. Deal with it.
Because that was way stronger than it ever. Like they could touch each other in the original one. In this one, they're actively destroying stuff around them, which it is like it was part of what moved the plot along, which I thought was like I was like, oh, that was a good idea. But also he said during their first Force battle when they were Force calling each other, she's in my quarters, and that was like the most plain ass room that I've ever seen in my entire life.
We're even criticizing the interior decorating. You're not wrong. I was like, those were his quarters? What?
That was his room? But that Force, like that being that strong to me, I was like, I don't understand, like, because they won't kill each other. But what's the point of them ever showing up in person? If you can would it ever be strong enough to pull them over?
Yeah, why did you just grab her shoulder and pull her over? It's just like, haha, gotcha now.
I saw that as just symbolism for their bond was getting stronger and it was uncontrollable and they didn't even know what to do with it either. If that makes sense.
Because I don't think, which I do see, but is it unprecedented?
I don't know.
Like they never, even in the previous movies, they never set up that something like this was possible. It's just like, oh, apparently Jedi can do, or Force sensitive people can do that now too. Fair enough.
Yeah, because Luke seemed to know that it could happen because he wasn't like what did you do? That's not possible. Yeah. What do you mean? Also, Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi was amazing. Yep.
He's so great.
I was happy to see him again in this one. I'm pretty sure the scene with Han Solo was originally meant for Carrie.
Definitely,
Fisher.
Absolutely. And that took me out of it, trying to watch that as it was him. Yeah. Really took me out of it. But I did like that they gave him the I know line. Like, definitely started crying at that. So it's fine.
To be fair, at some points I did get kind of sick of the nostalgia that they were all chucking in.
It was just like they kept pulling in a lot of people. And
I'm just like, guys, come on. Like, we get it. Thank you for the throwback, but you can stop now.
The Wedge one was cool, though. I did like the Wedge one. I just know somebody who Wedge is his favorite. So I was like, oh, hey, it's Wedge. He'll be I know one person who'll be happy.
So my cat's name is Wedge.
And, really?
Yeah. And yes, we named him after, well, it wasn't a we. It was Steve's choice. But I accept it and love my baby.
It's a cute cat name.
He's my baby.
Little Wedge. Yeah, that's a good cat.
Wedge Antilles. Yeah.
So cute.
So that's, that's a plus. What were so not to like force the issue, but were there things that you really liked, Ava?
There were several things that I liked. The acting was fantastic. The effects were good. Some of the action scenes were phenomenal. Like the choreography was just, loved it. And the music, it never fails to like take you into the moment. And when those credits opened and that Star Wars orchestral theme started, I was just like, yes, another Star Wars movie. And then that slowly went downhill. Yeah. But there was a lot of stuff that I liked. Babu Frick, I will die for the little guy.
He's
so
he
cute.
is pretty great.
My oldest friend,
my oldest friend, Babu Frick, that got a chuckle out of me. Even though I was already pretty pissed, that got a chuckle out of me. And goddamn Lando Calrissian. I love Billy D. Williams. They're amazing. I
God bless.
Just
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They are, and every scene with Lando in it brought a smile to my face. I was just like, I'm so happy you're here because everything else is a trash fire.
They did beautifully.
Lando, help me. But yeah,
I did like that one the festival they went to. I was like,
so
this
good.
is cool.
Like the dancing looked amazing, and you just know that wasn't like CGI or anything. That was people in suits, right?
Yeah.
I bet money that was Lin-Manuel Miranda's, because I know he helped with some of the music, and I was like,
oh, that's a good point.
I wouldn't be surprised because that was really cool, and I'm so sad they didn't do anything more with that because that was fantastic.
Also, I will be completely honest. So when they were fighting on the old Death Star, the rain fight, I had to go to the bathroom, and I waited, and I was like. It's like, no, okay, this fight just is not ending, so I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And then I reached the door and I took a look, and then I saw like Leia. I was like, oh, fuck, plot's happening again. So I had to wait by the door during the death scene, and I was just like, oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And then I ran to the bathroom.
I think that's why my movie theater has intermissions. Maybe, I don't know.
Halfway through, I was like, God, I would kill for an intermission right now because I had to pee too. What?
But that was the only fight scene that I thought went on too long. So I was like, okay, you're not gonna kill each other. It's fine.
The whole what was I gonna say? Now I lost it. The festival scene I thought was beautiful, but just another example of like we could have had a full movie to go through all this and really flesh all of it out. So that was frustrating. How did y'all feel about Carrie Fisher's existence in this iteration?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It made me uncomfortable.
I am right there with you.
It made me very uncomfortable.
It kept taking me out because I knew because like I was like, how much did they film ahead of time? How much is edited in from other stuff?
Yeah.
How much
it was
did
constantly
they,
like
fix?
she was there, but like she wasn't there. You know, because every conversation that she had, like those conversations with Rey in the beginning, it was just, it felt like she wasn't in the conversation. It was just, she was an NPC. Yeah. She was an NPC waiting for the characters to come over and give them a quest. And that was it. And that really, really bothered me.
I get the struggle they had though, because are you going to take her out in like the first 5 minutes? Is that you want her death to be meaningful in a way? So how do you do that?
I've said this. I think everything that they attempted to do, for better or worse, was done in service of the franchise and in the filmmakers' minds, like the best that they could have done and the most that they could have done for the films. I think that having Carrie be in there as much as she could have been was a good attempt, but it just felt like, okay, we got a couple of like cutting room floor clips and we're just going to write some dialogue to make that make sense, which it just I could feel it. The force was strong and I could feel it. I'm bad writing sensitive, so
this is not how the scene originally went. Went.
This scene didn't exist prior to needing to put this in like this. So,
and then when you had the bit with Han, it was just like, it was supposed to be Leia there. Why wasn't it? Especially considering what just happened.
Yeah. Because I think they were good. I think they tried to play it like it was a memory because they had an earlier line saying like you keep reliving that over and over again. So it was supposed to be like him on the bridge scene, kind of. I think is how they wanted it played. But they also couldn't have Carrie Fisher there, and that scene they did need him to have that scene.
Yeah,
he needed some kind of internal guidance from somebody, and Carrie Fisher couldn't be there.
Yes.
He couldn't have Leia.
Yeah, and I think
because she never filmed a scene like that.
I think therefore, like for that, I want to give them like a pass a little bit because that's them doing what they needed to do with what they had.
And also props for them for getting to get Harrison Ford to put that jacket on again.
I know. Like, there's no way that he did that. He never would have done that if not for her. Carrie. Yeah, the situation.
He absolutely 100% did that for her. I'm convinced.
For sure.
Cannot convince me
Because the happiest he ever was during when that movie. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is why he is so happy during all these red carpet walks, is because he doesn't have to do another Star Wars movie."
God bless. God bless.
He's like, "I don't get it," and you're like, "That's fine.
You tried, Harrison.
You don't have to, man.
You did your best.
You look good doing it.
That's
you just
right.
keep doing you.
Keep doing you.
You grumpy old man."
Well,
and I will say, because part of the reason I really enjoyed, because like Rogue One is my favorite one, and part of it's they made Darth Vader scary again. It also introduced in the Star Wars universe shades of gray that previously were not there. The good guys always did, the right thing, and the bad guys only did the bad thing. And Rogue One brought in our master of spies will just kill somebody if he needs to get out of a jam for the rebels. And that's fine, because he needs to do a job. And this movie also brought some of that in for some of the other characters, too, which I did appreciate. Like, hey, you're not a good guy all the time. Sometimes you got to get shit done.
Yeah.
Live your life.
Oh, God. Can I just mention one more thing that really bugged me?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Hux is a spy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was rough.
But only because he wants to stick it to Kylo Ren. Are you 12?
That sticks with his character, though. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, but how did he get to that rank? How did he get so high up in that order, being such a childish prick?
I mean, that is kind of how they operate now.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It was just...
His daddy knew somebody. So.
I don't want you to win. I just want Kylo Ren to lose.
I did enjoy that he died immediately after. It's like, bullshit. It's like, fuck you, guy.
Like, shoot me in the shoulder. You shot me in the leg. That's fine. Oh, no, I tried, but they overpowered me, and then blast her to the chest. It was just like, yeah, you tried, buddy, but you failed.
I was like...
There's cameras everywhere, you dweeb.
Yep. And you're really going to tell me that they killed everyone but left you alive? Good try, buddy. Good try. Look, I told you I had feelings about this movie. I did not enjoy it. It genuinely made me angry. I appreciated some parts of it, but I won't be seeing it again.
I think that's fair.
It's a whole lot of... I enjoyed where I thought The Last Jedi was taking the franchise, and they just did a hard nope and just returned to the status quo when you could have done something different, which is lazy. It was a lot of lazy writing. It was a lot of they knew they were going to make money, so why try? It was a lot of Game of Thrones season 8, like the last season of Game of Thrones. It was a lot of just they don't think they need to do the work anymore, or they're not willing to. I don't know. It's
the way it felt to me after The Last Jedi. There were two groups of people who loved it and people who hated it. People who loved the new direction it was taking, people who hated that it wasn't the Star Wars that we wanted. And Rise of the Skywalker was only going to please one of these two groups. And unfortunately, I'm in the group who didn't get what they wanted. And I guess that's fine. Like, I'm not blaming anyone for it, but it just feels like it was made to please everybody who hated The Last Jedi. And that just feels wrong to me, especially when those interviews came out and everybody was like, I'm so glad that J.J. Abrams came back and it's just so great. It was like, Rian Johnson gave you so much and he did such a great job and you're just gonna shit all over him. Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, I didn't get what I want. I was in the group that didn't get what they wanted. That's absolutely fine. I'm glad that there were people who liked it, who loved it, who were so happy with it. You know, that's the thing with media and entertainment and media. You get what you want or you don't. You love it or you hate it. Absolutely fine. But I won't be seeing it again, ever. And next week, I'm actually going back to the cinema to go and watch Knives Out because I'm sorry, Rian Johnson. I really liked what you did with The Last Jedi. You didn't deserve this, and I'm going to support you 100%. You have my money.
I need to go see Knives Out.
It's supposed to be so good. And if you look at that's one thing that always made me laugh when I saw it on Twitter is like people posting screenshots of the Rotten Tomatoes pages of Knives Out and then The Rise of the Skywalker, and it was just like, well, at least Rian Johnson's gonna have a happy new year, you know? So
sort of
but that was my
joke's
take
on you.
Yeah, pretty much. That's my take on The Rise of the Skywalker. Did not like it. It made me sad. It made me angry. No.
Caitlin, thoughts? Final thoughts?
I didn't get what I wanted either. I liked where I thought The Last Jedi was going. I liked the idea of a great person can come from anywhere, but then they went back to it's all genetics, yeah, kind of a thing. They never explain they never explained why New Republic went to tanked in a matter of 30 years again. Some stuff that just never got explained of what happened to get everybody to this political space again. Why does this keep happening?
Yeah.
The folly of man.
Doesn't never get brought up or fixed.
Also, I did say I was going to come back to it, and I totally forgot, but it was also a fucking shot-for-shot remake almost of Episode 6. Because it was the same thing again.
Oh, maybe that's
this person needing to come, maybe, this person needing to come to terms with their heritage, and their ancestor was evil, so maybe I'm evil too. And look out there, your friends are dying, but if you do what I say, if you join me, we could stop them, and they won't have to die anymore. It's like, yeah, that worked out real good for you the first time, dingus. It just pissed me off when he was like, "Oh, look at your friends out there; they're dying." He's like, well, you tried this before, Palpy. It didn't work out. Just stop.
Palpy.
And I saw a lot of story writing mistakes that I didn't appreciate.
Yeah.
The fake out dying really bugs me because that's a cop out. That's a cop out on emotions.
Yeah.
And you can't do it that many times. You just can't. It just makes me feel like, well, I'm gonna go hit by a truck because I'm gonna be fake dead. Death doesn't mean anything, so whatever. Just a lot of story writing choices I didn't like. They should have. It's also a problem with the entire trilogy because they should have had an outline for all 3 movies, and you can tell they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like a cohesive whole.
Yeah.
No, because the original trilogy does, and the prequels have their issues, but you can tell that the plot line is definitely watching Anakin go to shit. So. Or become more badass. And via the most Skywalker trait, the less whiny they become, the more powerful they are.
Yep.
Isn't that neat?
Yep.
Every time.
Isn't that neat?
Yep.
Happened with Anakin.
Happened with Luke.
Happened with
Ben.
Kylo, kind of. Yeah, so the less whiny, the more powerful.
Yep.
It is the Skywalker trait that jumps over the women.
Yep.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, really.
Leia's just a badass the entire time.
Empress Palpatine.
But yeah, I don't. There's just some story writing mistakes that seemed lazy to me.
Yep.
It seemed like they knew they were going to make their money back, so we don't need to do some stuff.
And I was okay with the nostalgia in The Force Awakens, it's Chewie and Han, it's the Millennium Falcon, but enough's enough at some point, because at some point it just feels like they're shoving it down your throat, and then you're just like, I don't appreciate what you're doing here. I feel like I can actually feel you manipulating me, and I'm not okay with this.
And since I watched the original movies illegally, I don't have that nostalgia. So I was looking at it through the lens of somebody who saw these movies and was now seeing these new ones and them going, they're just doing, I see what they're doing, but the entire movie of a remake just isn't, I get what you're trying to do, but you don't need to do that. And instead of making new choices and going in a new direction, you did the same exact thing over again with new characters, which is my issue with the first one too. So this entire trilogy is just too much nostalgia on the brain and not enough willingness to take this expanded universe and do whatever you want with it. Yep. And also Rogue One fixed a plot hole in the original movie. So yay.
You know what really made me scream on the inside?
Tell us.
When they showed back of those Ewoks in the very last bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they're on Endor. Of course there's Ewoks. Of course there's fucking Ewoks. Of course they would. And at that point, I just realized they're just milking the nostalgia at this point. It's just like, yeah, sure, throw in some Ewoks for the good of it. And that
entire Endor planet's going to be just full of broken planes at some point. If they keep having final battles at them. But Melissa, Tell us
How did you feel?
Well, first of all,
your final
they
review.
mentioned that it's on Endor. Like, I thought that was
they did.
That was a purposeful nostalgia throwback.
Yeah, I knew they were coming. Like, I'm pretty sure they were gonna shove Ewoks in there at some point, but the fact that it was only like 2 seconds in the back of them was just like, you just did it, so they'd be in there. So fuck you.
So, not to have the last word or anything, but I want it to be one of positivity. I think that, yeah, I had my problems with it. But I think that this marks, these are the first Star Wars. This is the first Star Wars trilogy. And I mean, the other movies count among this too. These are the first Star Wars movies that exist in our modern world of social media, of immediate feedback, of a very vocal fan base. And we talk about this, not to tie it into The Sims, but that is the podcast we're talking about here. If you voice your dissent, ideally, we live in a world where it can be done in a civil way or a productive way. But if you are open with what you like or don't like about a thing, the creators might be listening. And I think we're in a phase right now. You've got the changes they made to Sonic, the updates they made to the Cats CGI. The creators are listening, and right now it's sort of a space where they don't know what to do with all of this feedback and are sort of, maybe listening a little bit too much to what the fans think they want, and coming out with things that we don't want. So it's a very interesting time. And I will say, as a true and forever follower of our Lord and Savior, Walter Elias Disney, and with full belief in that company and what they're going to do with the franchise, I'm excited for more. I don't mean a new trilogy. I think this is going to be the time where we actually get to explore the expanded universe, because there is so much content. The Mandalorian is going to allow a show, a piece of media to exist in the Star Wars universe that isn't a book and that isn't one of the movies. I mean, they've done it with Rogue One, they've done it with, but this is the first show. So I think that there's a lot of potential at this point to expand this universe in a way that is episodic, which I think the original movies tried to be, but the medium of a long-form television series, it's basically every 2 episodes is a full movie. In terms of production scale, that's where we're at. So
it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. And prior to recent J.K. Rowling tweets aside, I'm such a huge Harry Potter fan, and I learned long ago with those movies to not expect anything from movies that are coming out based on source material that you love. Like, I go into movies like that thinking, this is its own thing. It's not going to be the exact story that I envisioned when I read it. It can't be. The whole J.K. Rowling drama aside, I was really excited for the rumors of a Harry Potter TV show, because that, to me, is the way that should have gone in the first place. When a medium is so... When the source content is so rich and detailed, I want to be able to give it the time that it deserves, and the thoroughness of episodes and exploring all those little pieces. I feel like Mandalorian's going to do that for Star Wars. I feel like an eventual Harry Potter series for TV could do that. And so that's kind of where I stand on, where we are and where we are moving forward. I feel like we have to get through this piece of history to get to a better place. Does that make sense? I just wax philosophical for 2 minutes straight, but that's it has its problems, but I think it's in service of a better tomorrow.
That's a nice note to end on. That's a nice note to end on.
Is that damning by faint praise? We'll get through this so we can have better stuff later.
Kinda. I mean,
I will say it's an amazingly made movie visually.
Oh yeah.
So many people worked so hard on it, and I completely respect that. I am not the kind of person who's gonna go on the internet and go, "This sucks, you ruined my childhood, man." I'm not gonna do that, because that's stupid. Don't do that. I am gonna say kudos to the creator, very well done. Creators, very well done. The actors were fantastic. I wish I wish some of them hadn't been done so dirty, and I'm sad I didn't get what I wanted. There, I said it. I'm sad I didn't get what I wanted, but I understand.
That's fair.
And I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I won't be seeing it again.
That is a fair assessment.
Because, like, I rewatched The Last Jedi just to watch Mark Hamill choose scenery.
Yeah.
For, like, just that fight between Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker at the end is just worth the rewatch. It's great. Even with the reveal, like, it's just really good.
Yeah.
And like Kylo Ren losing his shit over like just trying to shoot down the Falcon was also one of my favorite moments. Shoot that down.
Yep.
And I didn't have any moment like that through this one. And it was just kind of bummed me out.
Well, we've been blathering on about this for quite some time. If you're still listening at this point, thank you. We love you.
Sorry.
I'm sorry for all the yelling. I am a very empathetic person. I get agitated. Sorry for the lack of volume control. I will do better.
We needed to get this out of our systems, so this was more therapeutic for us than it was entertaining for you. So
honestly, no, it really is, because when I came home yesterday, I couldn't yell at anybody about it because nobody in my immediate environment has seen it. I spent an hour just yelling at my cat about it, and my cat just sat there looking at me like, sure. Crazy. It's like, but I'm glad I actually got to converse, have an actual conversation, trialogue with people about it. It makes me feel a lot better. I feel better than I did yesterday, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
I just get mad at, like, you have a lot of money and you're not willing to take any chances with the money. Like, there's not going to be another. You could do whatever you wanted. And that's part of the reason, like, I get mad at Disney for their, like, shot-for-shot remakes of stuff that were just going to, like, the Lion King thing made me mad. Because why?
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
You didn't need to do that. And, like, you have so much money, Disney, and you're just rehashing old stuff when you could be doing whatever you wanted with these properties, which is why I am happy about the new Mulan movie.
Yeah, the new Mulan looks badass. They're really, I'm ready. No?
Yep. Bummed about Shang, but, like, what you gonna do? But
what are we bummed out about?
Yeah, so, like, Shang's technically not in it. They split his character up into two. Like, there's going to be the leader of the army and then the love interest. So, like, and people were mad there wasn't going to be music in it. And it's like, well, the music's not going to make any sense in this live action version. Like, Musha's not going to be in it because he wouldn't make any sense.
For a reason, in
this new version. Yep. But, like, I just get mad when I see a lot of money and them be scared to take advantage. Like, them be scared to take chances.
Yeah.
When you could have. And made something new. They didn't want to do anything new. And that bugs me. And I saw just shortcuts.
I'm curious about Mulan because I heard after the whole Hong Kong riots things and the lead actress being very vocally pro-China.
I think she tweeted about it.
And then then they said that there were going to be some massive reshoots, some extensive reshoots happening.
Oh, jeez.
Of the movie. And I'm like, why? So I'm curious.
Well,
I'm curious to see.
Interesting. I didn't heard that.
I think some of the government made some of the from what like rumors heard throughout the internet's like the government made some of their bigger actors to take a side. Kind of. There's a conspiracy theory for you, or she's not for the people. Whatever. Or the other way.
That goes back to my assertion on. We're in such a time of like there's a third factor in terms of how something gets created. There's the person who is creating it, who's writing it. There's the studios that are, funding it. And then there's the fan feedback, which is so instantaneous that it can literally affect things that are in production right now, which is crazy to me. But that's where we're at. So anyway.
Well, this was a rant.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I hope we kept you entertained. Maybe you were frustrated with us or at us. I don't know. But that's our 2 cents on the new Star Wars movie.
That's all we got for today, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Under the Plumb Bob, the Patreon edition. And we will see you next time. It's time to go back to the real world. Bye, kids.
Bye. Bye.
All hail the Simizens.
Barish. Dag dag.